Welcome everybody back to another episode of our Minecraft Xbox One Survival Let's Play. I always find myself starting these episodes in the same location, so I thought I'd mix it up today. So we're starting this episode aboard the top of the pirate ship we have in our world, which is still unfinished despite being over like 40 odd episodes old now. But besides that, we've got plenty to do, so let's get straight on with this episode then. Now, it's been quite a considerable amount of time since the last episode, which was the live stream we did, probably like 2 months ago. I hate dating episodes, but there's so many times that I have such big gaps between my stuff that I always feel like there's so much that's changed in the world. But this time, for once, there really isn't much that has changed. I really haven't been in the world too much. I've just been playing other stuff, or just not playing games at all. Life's been kind of busy. But now that we are back at it, let's go and have a quick look at what we're doing today. So, today, mainly, I wanted to talk about a couple things, really. One being the Realms server. I've mentioned it a few times, but it's actually gonna go. It's actually happening, which is kind of nice. I've been testing a lot of stuff recently with a server over on the Bedrock edition of the game, and having looked at it, it's worth making the investment in it now. I feel like there is so much potential in that game now that it is worth having a go at it. Obviously, I haven't really messed with the redstone in that game too much because I know it's slightly different, but I've just been testing it a little bit, doing the odd stuff, sort of realizing that animal farms actually work in that version of the game. It's amazing. Both versions of the game, this Xbox One edition and the Bedrock edition, they both have flaws in them. They're not perfect by any means necessary, but they both have pros and over the other one, essentially. There's always something that's going to benefit you in one that isn't in the other. For example, Bedrock edition of the game actually gets updated and fixed. This version, this is it. If something is broken, it is never going to change back. So I will definitely, I'll mention it later on in the video, but essentially, I'm going to try and figure out a way to accept applications for it. Now, obviously, I think the maximum you can have in one of those worlds is 10 people, if I'm not mistaken, off the one that I was testing it on. But yeah, so that's really exciting. So obviously, I want to try and keep it to a select group to start with whilst I get used to how to run the server properly. Now, I've obviously had servers on the PC version, the Java edition before, so I do know roughly what I'm doing. It's just kind of got to get used to running it via a console instead of my laptop, for example. But obviously the Bedrock edition is designed to run on multiple platforms, which is perfect for anybody that wants to just hop in, have a quick 5 minutes, harvest their farms, set up something else for the day, and then go off and do something else. It also means that I can start a second series of something which isn't single-player survival, because I find that single-player survival and multiplayer survival are two very different games. The community aspect, what the fudge has gone on here? This is some weird rendering. What the heck? Looks like one of the maps isn't spawning properly again. Yeah, whoa. This is really strange. Huh. I wonder if when I loaded the map up in this area for the first time, it didn't load up certain chunks, because I knew this village was here. I wonder if I looted it. I know I flew over it. No, I didn't, so there's still bits and pieces in all of these. But yeah, essentially, going back to the mentioning of a realm, it's been in my mind for quite a while now, and I think this would be the perfect time to do it. And so, yeah, we're going to be having a realm on the Bedrock edition of the game. And I'm really, really excited to actually get going and start playing as a community instead of just in a single-player world like I am now, for example. I've always been curious to see if I had a jungle temple in this world, but I don't think I do. Despite there having small amounts of jungle in the world, I don't think there's a temple in this one, sadly. It is, what we're actually trying to do, by the way, is we're trying to fly out far enough away that when I throw an Eye of Ender, which, by the way, I've got all the stuff in this shulker box right here, we will find a brand new portal, essentially, because I want to go and hunt the libraries down inside them and get all the books for it, because essentially I want to kind of finish off, or at least start to try and finish, the library room that we have, or museum-based room theme that we have inside our castle. It's one of the two large rooms on the second floor. We have obviously built a staircase into that previously, which I've actually just ripped back out again, because it doesn't quite fit with what I want to do. We're just going to keep flying out. I think if I go a little bit further into the corner, I'm going to run into the ocean. We must be quite far out anyway. Let's just try and put this in my other hand so I can see it. So 1800, 2000. I think if I fly like, I was going to say not too much further in this direction, there's a couple of mesa biome islands. So let's actually have a quick look. I see if anything is actually spawning in the chests on these. I don't think they do, sadly. I think these are still quite empty. But yeah, this is another of the mesa biomes in my world. This area does look like I've already looted it because it's got torches in it already. So I guess there won't be anything brand new here for me to kind of go and steal. Because look, you can kind of see I've definitely already been here. The fact that all the blocks are still here is quite funny. It just goes to show that I was really lazy when I was first here. But yeah, so let's kind of think about this realms really. So the easiest way I can think of giving people the realms ID for them to join the world if they are seriously considering wanting to join one is I don't want to publicly post it. That's kind of the problem that I've got. Is either private message me on YouTube. That's one way of doing it, and say why you're interested in joining it. Or the alternative, which I think is the easier option, is to join the Discord server, which is linked in every video description I ever do. Because that means that I can private message you this stuff on Discord, and we can then use the Discord server for, like, community stuff. And it's the easiest way to talk as well, instead of actually plugging a microphone in, setting up parties, especially if you're cross-platform. If you're on a PC, you don't want to be logging into an Xbox just to play with somebody else on the server, if that's what's planning on happening. So yeah, that's the easiest thing I can suggest is either join the Discord or private message me on YouTube. If you're going to post something into the comments of the YouTube video or any video in the future asking to join the realm, because there's going to be videos on it in the near future, I will not provide the realms ID to you in a YouTube comment. It's just a big mistake if I do that. But yes, if you are seriously considering wanting to join a realm server, then yeah, I have one pretty much ready to go. We just need to figure out which seed we're using, because I can need to reset it from the test world that I've been using right now. Because nobody wants to use somebody else's pre-made world. That is going to explode? Okay, no, you're just going to drop in the ocean first time. So we're heading off in this direction, then it looks like, to go and find ourselves a stronghold. But the only problem is, I think in this area there is, like, another one. Where's that gone? Oops. I didn't mean to throw it. That was the problem. Okay, so that's gone there. Maybe we're still heading in the same direction. Because I've been switching between the versions of the games, I keep pressing the third person button on the Bedrock Edition on this version of the game as well, and it's messing with me. Because the controls don't map exactly one-to-one, it's kind of awkward just to figure out where everything is. Okay, so it's still going this way. See, I'm still pressing it. It's because I've been playing Bedrock Edition too much recently. But switching back to this, most of the controls are the same. I think the only difference that I've found so far is the inventory crafting stuff is a little bit clunky, and third person is binded to up for some reason instead of L3, because for some reason you can't bind sprint and third person to the same keybind, even though it's not really L3, it's just left analog pushing forward for sprint. It's kind of strange, but yeah, that's one of the nitpicky things I've found with the Bedrock Edition. But obviously, if I look at it on the PC version, you'd be able to map stuff to how you would run a PC game anyway on the Java Edition. Or obviously, if you've got it on a phone, for example, the keys are again different because of the fact that everything runs via the sort of effectively what looks like an up, down, left, right touchpad. Which obviously I have experience with from like 5-6 years ago almost, playing the Minecraft Pocket Edition, really early version of that game. This looks like it's slowly taking us back to the map over here. Big slime. Okay, so it's still going this way. We need to take this a little bit further, because we're going to run out of these Eyes of Ender. I don't really want to be wasting them. Wow, there's a lot of slime here. Squishy. Okay, so let's head over here. We're going to find one of these eventually. But yeah, so the whole point of this is just to gather up all the books, essentially, and plus I'll explore a brand new stronghold. I would like to find a separate one, because I do want to do a stronghold base, but I kind of don't want to do it in and around where I'm working currently. Okay, it's still off in this direction. So this is the problem with watching the Eyes of Ender drop, is you sort of have to stand still. And I didn't bring a bed with me. So let's just fly, let's say, here on this tree. Oh, here on the ground, should I say. Okay, so it's still that direction. That was actually quite far. Still pressing go. Oh, it's got in the tree. Oops. Where in the tree is it? It's up there. Okay. Huh. I'm also wary of the creeper underneath me, which is just over there. Okay, he's fine. Oh, there's 3 of them. Hello. I will take all your gunpowder, though. Thank you for the donations. Thank you very much. That was much obliged. There's plenty of wolves and stuff around here, too. See, that's the downside to this version of the game, is the animal spawning rates are capped at like 50 or 60 in an area, which makes it basically impossible to do any sort of animal farm. This looks like it's... I know I'm still 1,000 blocks out. That just exploded. Maybe we go off in a... And what I'm thinking is probably flying off in a different direction, because I've got a feeling this is just taking us back to 0, 0. So if we fly off sort of... I want to hit... Let's go sort of negative, positive. I'm trying to find one that's coming far away, because I know where a few of them are just outside the borders, but I don't want to come across any of those because I already have looted them. I want to go and find a new one, which means going out to some of the far reaches of the world, but also don't want to break my eyes at elytra here, because we will really struggle to get back again. So we're at about minus 1,500, minus 1,000. But yeah. So let's see if we can find one then. This is going to take quite a while to find one of these things, so I might cut back when I eventually find one, because otherwise I'm just going to be flying around in circles endlessly. Haven't visited these couple of houses back here in this church for quite some time, and I forgot that we actually built these very, very early on. The whole idea of having a city built up here was really nice at the time, but yeah, this isn't... I like the fact that this was our own idea. That's what I'm proud of, is the fact that we actually came up with this ourselves. But yes, you can see that it's got like a little bell at the top and some... It's sort of partially based on the structure design which we had for the watchtower, which is also in this world as well, which we recreated somewhere along the south coast of the Amplified world. Here you can see one of our considerably messed up villages, and the fact that this is a PC seed... basically taken to the Xbox version of the game instead, messed everything up a little bit. As you can see there, the transfer of the stuff did not go perfect. Looks like we've got some random cobblestone over here. And if we go down here, we should be back where we belong. I wonder if there's anything actually in these chests that is useful. Bucket of lava's kind of good. Besides that, just a lot of junk, really. Nothing really that I will use in the near future. That lead possibly is good, but that's also probably a good thing to leave behind here. But besides that, everything looks normal. Despite that entire trip to try and find an end portal and a library being a complete waste of time, I did manage to tell everybody about the Realm server, which is coming up. Well, basically, it's by the time you watch this video, the Realm server will be live. So as I mentioned previously, all the stuff is going to be written in the description anyway, so you can check it out. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting to do the Realms, and I really hope we get a chance to play a bit more of a community side of thing, because I feel like the multiplayer stuff in this game is very different to the single player, like I mentioned. But yeah, I just thought I'd come up to the train as well and have a look, and it looks actually has a pretty good view from inside it, even though I don't think the colour scheme and the block choices currently match the theme that we have going on in the rest of the world. It sort of stands out like a little sore thumb. It's a bit more too clean as in comparison to the rest of the game, so obviously we need to pick a better colour for it, and I think then that thing should be good to go as well. It does need another carriage on the back, and then we need to figure out like a station location for it. Station location, that's a pretty funny name. But yeah, the other thing that we were doing last episode, for not everybody that has seen the hour and 40-minute long stream that we were doing, we were messing around a lot with the minecarts here, trying to sort out item loaders and unloaders for the food farm that we have built up in the sky over here. Now, we've rerouted all of the item drops to be on top of a hopper right here, which was obviously, if I have the minecart run underneath it, we'll then pick it all up and then go off towards the middle. But currently, we do not have anywhere for the items to be dropped off. So one of the next things on my list coming up very soon, like I already have a couple of episodes planned ahead, but sort of in a few episodes' time, we're going to be looking at building the completely finished storage room, the automatic storage room, which we started digging out in and around where the tower is over there. We were originally going to put it in the ship, but I think the ship just isn't big enough for that sort of stuff. Maybe we could do that for the oddball sort of like ship style loot, you know what I mean? So sort of what a ship would actually carry, sort of like sugar and things like that, a little bit of rarities here and there. But the other thing we did was we built this item loader right here, which was essentially to allow the minecart to select the junction afterwards, which is that melon junction. If you can just about see it over there, we changed it from white wool to melons, because then that means we can fully automate this thing, because a melon farm is fully automatic using the forget what the blocks are called, the observer block. There we go, I can think of the name of it now. So we actually fly up here now. I was expanding my bridge a little bit, so the bridge actually goes much higher than it used to. As you can see, it clears the wall by at least a full block now. But if we hop on the other side, we have now a fully functioning melon farm, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if we've got any blocks that I can actually get up with. Maybe I'll just tear this down and put it back in a minute. As long as I grab all the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, we can get up. So inside here is where all the melon grows. Let's see if I've got a silk touch, is fine. So yeah, the melon grows onto this block. The observer then detects it, which then has the piston push it into the hopper, which is under here. I think it's under this one, but it might also be under this one as well. So when it breaks, it drops into the hopper, and then it spits it into the system underneath. A little bit of a nice timer on the back here so that the hopper can run properly and efficiently. I've just realised we can actually get back in here now, can't we? So if I press those two right there, but it does also start a lag ever so slightly if you get over here as well. You can see the hopper chain running down into this dropper right here. The dropper is key because it means that no more than one item at a time ends up in the final hopper right here, which means that the minecart will only ever have the first slot with one singular melon inside of it. Now, we are going to have to come up with something else, unless we divert the track completely so that it diverts left entirely into that section right there. But right now, what we want to try and figure out is the fact that the first melon will go over this section right here. The minecart will, let's see if I actually can grab one of these two chest minecarts and show it as an example. Let's just swing my axe at the floor here and see if I can get one. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I guess I just destroy the redstone on the floor. That's fine. Put that back there. The alternative is just to do this. I got one. There we go. No. Okay. I'll just take up 2 pieces of track. Eventually, I'll get one of them. There we go. I might get the second one as well, actually. These should actually be full. Yeah, I was going to say, I've already been testing this with them both. So let's just break this one. This guy can just go back round in circles again. So let's just grab the 2 minecart rails. 1, 2. Oh, did I mess that up? No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay. I know how to fix this. This is, you have to take this piece out, put that there. There we go. Then you put this back in, and it does that. And that fixes everything. Okay, sweet. Now we can just push this minecart. Oh, first of all, what I probably should do was put all this stuff back in there as well. Huh, there we go. I'm hoping that it'll reach the next one. Once it goes to there, we are all good to go. Okay, sweet. So the whole idea of this is to, let's put them in the right way around. That would help. Let's grab this minecart chest. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch as it does its magic, essentially. Let the other one run past. Thank you very much. We're going to push it all the way down there and leave it to do its thing. So once it comes back to the middle, what it will have done is it will run all the way down there, loop back, and come all the way back onto the track again. That is the plan. But what we probably want to do to speed this up a little bit is, first of all, we want to run over here. Why is it here? Oh, it's a visual glitch. Oh, okay. So if I grab all that, maybe grab all of this as well. I just want to show it as an example, so I really do not mind how long it takes to fill up. Let's probably grab another stack here too. I don't know if I grabbed that or not, but let's wait and see as it flies past us, hopefully. Fingers crossed when my inventory is completely full of stuff. I'm going to keep an eye on it as it flows past us here. We can sort of still see it through the trees. It's got a full stack to grab yet, so don't worry. We've also got eyes of ender pearls here. We can actually try and catch it back up again. Very slowly as it empties out the tube. The worrying thing is that something might have dropped in, so we may be stood here quite a while. Oh, no, there it goes. Off it goes, so we can follow it all the way down to the middle. We've got to be quick enough, though, otherwise the track's not going to go off. Well, the track will go off, we just won't be able to see it. So it has picked up the melon, and off it goes down the tube. Obviously, this minecart will just continue to circle because it hasn't got the melon inside of it. But remember that the whole thing was completely empty to start with, which means now the system actually works, which is perfect. We can now send minecarts from that left-hand junction right there, which what it will actually be able to do is the fact that once it hits this track section right here of the orange wall, the minecart will therefore be empty, running down this section right here, which is why it's perfect to test them where we are testing them. And then as it runs all the way back, it will gain a melon piece right there. But what we also need to do is probably figure out a way of getting something back in that first slot again afterwards. I think the key thing there is the fact that as soon as that melon is taken out, the first slot will be empty. So maybe what we need to try and do is test something with a minecart. What I'm thinking here is this junction is incredibly complicated for something that doesn't actually get used anymore. We will still use this in the future because it means that this is how we get up to the upper parts of the minecart selector anyway. We have this alternate track tunnel which is currently in the works over here. What is the gap we have here? Is it still 4 blocks? Okay, it's still 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Good start. Counts to 4 and then place it on the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. 2, 3, 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And then for now that we ignore that because that doesn't technically exist. This is all the stuff that I dug out of the tunnel right here. This is gonna be a little bit awkward because the fact that the track is too wide. What I will do is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. I'll place them here. 2, 3, 4, bam. This is like half of the time in my world is placing torches so that mobs don't spawn. And it helps if I place them in the right place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 wall. Which actually is perfect because this is where we're going to be entering the actual area itself. I have moved the beacon all the way down to the ground as well. I forgot to mention that actually. But now this means that we can fully start developing this area to be a complete down to bedrock level. And it also means that we'll be able to have ourselves a speed mining area as well, which is perfect because I've been in desperately need of one of those recently. It also means we'll be in pretty good shape to probably try and finish the solid gold beacon if we don't ever plan on doing a pigman farm anytime soon in this version of the game because I just don't think they're efficient enough. Mining the gold seems like the most logical choice right now, and I think that's what we're going to do. But yeah, so let's dump all of this stuff in here. I'm sure I have chests for this thing. Okay, I do. I think this one's the carrot one. Nope, sugarcane. This side carrots? Yes, okay. So I've been sort of taking it as I've been testing it and moving it over here slowly but surely. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps up this episode. In summary, it was really more of an episode to tell you guys about the Realm server being up and active. I think I will probably do a video on there as a sort of episode 1 and quote, because I have an idea for the seed. I've found a couple already, which I think will be good. It's just whether or not I think the one that I want to use will work. I hope it does, because it means, well, we're going to have a lot of fun, is what it means. And it means it'll be really community focused. So really, if you want to go and play single player, you might as well play in your own world. But if you want to play a multiplayer server, where you play part single player, part as a group, have like a community center, a spawn where multiple people build in it, and effectively, the key thing I run is just an active server. I don't really care if you're building or not. If you're doing nothing the entire time, as long as you're around, I think that that's perfect for everybody else that will be enjoying it as well. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I guess I will see you all again in the next one. Bye-bye.